Hi everyone. I'm actually filming this at night, or actually really early in the morning. Today is actually the January the 8th. It's very early on January the 8th. I'm not exactly sure as to what time it is, but yeah. And this video, I'm not exactly sure when it's going to go up, probably Tuesday or Thursday of this week, but today's January 8th, and that's when I'm filming it. So, okay. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about my unexpected move. We were living with my stepfather and my stepsisters, and blended families don't always work out. I'm not really going to give you guys every single little detail as to exactly what had happened. If you guys have any questions, you can definitely ask, and I will, get back to you guys. Or if it's something that requires a lot of explaining, I will, do a separate video. So, okay. So, I don't want to go into detail as to exactly what happened because a lot had happened. Like a real lot happened. Everything just happened so fast, and this video just would be really long. Okay, so I'm just gonna get started. Okay, so I'm not really gonna talk about my stepsisters and how they treated me because I did like two separate videos explaining all of that. And if you guys want to see that, that's on my channel, and you guys can definitely take a look at that so you can have a better understanding as to how they treated me. But I'm just going to basically talk about what had happened. Okay, so this happened, it all started on Christmas Eve of 2014. My stepsisters, Brittany, Alexa, and then the girlfriend. Brittany has a girlfriend. She's a lesbian, and she's the oldest. So it's my stepsister Alexa, me, and Brittany. My brother is younger than me, so he and I are in the middle, but he's not really going to be mentioned here because he wasn't really, involved heavily in this. So, okay. So, my stepsisters had got candy, these chocolate truffles, for their grandmother for Christmas, and I'm sorry if I'm talking quietly. I am doing this at night, so okay. But my stepsisters got their grandmother chocolate truffles for Christmas, and it was one of those stores where you have to pay. It's like 70 cents for each truffle, so it was altogether like $3 and something cents, but $5 just to make it easier because she got five of them for her grandmother. So I was eating them because I didn't know, okay, because my mother saw them on the counter in a bag and she put them out. She didn't know. So nobody told us that they were a gift. There was no communication. It was, that was one of the problems. There was no communication between anybody. So when I was eating them, I thought, oh, okay, maybe they're for everybody. So the next day, my stepdad, he asked me, he's like, oh, did you eat chocolate? And I was like, yeah. And he said that was a gift. And I basically was like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And he's like, yeah, I know you didn't know. And basically, my stepsister Alexa was telling Brittany that they were texting each other. And at the time, Brittany wasn't living there. She had gotten an apartment with her girlfriend. And she basically said that I ate the candy and she wasn't in the house. And, she still knew about it. And Brittany basically texted me and she said, it's been brought to my attention that you ate chocolate that I was going to give my grandmother. That's really the only thing we can give her. And I need you to either go replace it or give me the money for tomorrow. And I was just like, all right, you know what? I'll give you the money tomorrow. And it was really childish how she handled it because, first of all, there was no communication. I mean, they didn't even say, hey guys, please don't eat this. This is a gift. It was just on the counter. I had no idea. I had no idea it was a gift. And yeah, there was no communication. So, okay. So I just apologized to her and I said, I'll give you the money tomorrow. I'm sorry, I didn't know. And she's like, well, next time ask. And I felt really bad, once I found out. I did. I felt really bad that I did that. But I made a mistake. I did not know. So I gave my stepfather the money. I said to him, I'm like, look, I'm sorry. I didn't know the chocolate was a gift. Here's the money. And instead of him saying, oh, no, don't worry about it, I'll take care of it, he just took the money. And I think it was like really childish that he took money from me, and the way for my stepsister Brittany to handle it the way she did. And he was like, okay, he should have just been like, it's fine, you didn't know, you made a mistake, don't worry about it. But no. So that happened. So we weren't going to tell my mother, but my mother and my stepdad were arguing, and he kind of, she kind of found out that way. So basically what happened was they were arguing and it came out, and my mother was really upset. So we're going to fast forward to Christmas Day of 2014. So after everybody left, my mother and stepdad were arguing about a whole bunch of things. There's one time where I actually lashed out at him because my stepfather does this thing, it's really annoying, where he switches things on purpose. Like, he doesn't listen and he'll just like purposely switch things. So my mother's friend, she had literally just moved into her new house. So my mother said to me on Sunday, she's like, oh, the day after, maybe on Sunday we'll go see we'll go see their new house. I don't want to say her name. So we'll go see their new house. And my stepdad was like, oh, I thought you guys were going tomorrow. Like, he switched it. And he does this thing. He did this a lot. So it was really annoying. So I got yelled at him. And my mother didn't correct me. She basically, because I was sticking up for her. And he basically said to me, no, you do not talk to me like that. So that started an argument. And they were just arguing for a while after everybody left. This happened because we had family over for Christmas, which I'll get to in a second. So they were screaming at each other, and it just was not pretty, and it was really scary when they argued, and that's a whole nother story. And that's something I also do not want to get into, because that's about their relationship, because this is my channel and I don't want her business out here. So I'm trying to just keep it to like things that happened with me. Okay. So that happened. They were yelling at each other, arguing, getting loud. Okay. So I said that Christmas Day, our family came over. The thing is, we usually used to go see our family for Christmas. We'd go there on Christmas Day, but with my mother and stepdad being married, they had to go, we stayed home because, both families were involved at that point. So we stayed home, and the year before, in 2013, was when we just moved in, my family, they came to us. But a year later, we asked them if they wouldn't mind doing that again, because, we had to stay home. We had both families. So they said they couldn't, because my cousins, they were going to their boyfriends' houses, and they wanted to stay local. So we agreed to go see them the day after. And it would have been the same thing, So we would have went over there, we would have hung out, talked, had dinner, opened presents. We would have done all the same stuff. The only difference was a different day. So that was the day after Christmas we were going to do that. So the day after Christmas rolls around, and it was like 8 o'clock that morning, and my mother and stepdad were still going at it with each other, still arguing just about nonsense. And that was when the incident came up where I ate the truffles, and they took the money and all that childish stuff. So basically, my stepdad, he used to get loud, and he used to threaten, which, like I said, I don't really want to go into that because that's their business. But he used to get really loud, and he used to yell, he used to scream, he used to pretend to call the police. He wouldn't really, he would just like pretend, and then he would like point to the window and be like, oh, there they are. And yeah, so he didn't do that, but he yelled, and he called me a retard, and he screamed, your daughter's a retard, to my mother. And she went and called the police. And my stepdad, at the time, he was basically getting everyone all stirred up, and that was another thing that he did. He used to like get everybody all stirred up, and he said, he woke up me, well, he didn't wake me, but he woke up my stepsister Alexa. My other one wasn't living there, like I said. He went to the basement to wake up my brother, and he was telling my brother what was going on, and he just got everybody all stirred up. And all 5 of us, were sitting in the kitchen. We had like an island with bar stools, so we were sitting in the kitchen waiting for them to come. And they came and we basically told them what was going on, and the cop was like, you guys got to act like adults, and and all this stuff. And he turned to my mother and he said, if somebody called my kid a retard, I would just be like, see ya. So yeah, but basically that was what happened. And they talked to us. They said we got to act like adults. They were trying to like talking to us about it. They left they were there for maybe about like 10, 15, 20 minutes, something like that. And after they left, I was, I had gone back into my room because I thought, everything was okay, but they were still going at it. They were still arguing with each other. And this time my stepsister Alexa was out of control. She was having this screaming fit, and she normally would never get involved, but she did. She had this screaming fit. She was out of control. And my brother was out there and he was like, oh, guys, calm down. He was telling them to chill out. He was trying to calm them down, and they would not calm down. Basically, because my mother said something about how I don't know how this came up, but about how my stepsister Brittany's girlfriend was abused as a little girl. And my stepsister, she basically was like out of control. She was throwing this huge fit, like, you don't talk like that in my house. And she was screaming and just acting like a little child. And my stepfather didn't tell her to stop. He didn't do anything about it. He didn't tell her not to do it. He just let her do it. He just let her keep going. So that was another thing. Like, he always sided with them. He never told them no. And another thing too that they would do, my stepsisters, if I did something that they didn't like, they would try to cover it up by being extra nice to me. So like one time when my mother and stepdad were away on vacation, my older stepsister Brittany was like being extra nice to me. She was like, they cooked for me because they knew that they weren't being so nice to me the day before, for example. Same thing with the truffle incident. My stepsister was talking to me, having a conversation with me as if nothing happened, So, because they never really talked to me, they were horrible. And when they talked to me, I knew, like when they were having like a nice full-blown conversation, I knew, okay, I did something because they're trying to cover up. So anyway, after the screaming fit and everything calmed down, this was going on for maybe like 10, 15, 20 minutes after the cops left. My stepfather and Alexa went out for breakfast, and my brother basically said to my mother, we're out of here. And I kid you not, okay, within like 45 minutes, my brother basically helped her get her essentials, helped her pack up her essentials and get out of the house. And like basically medications, clothes, toiletries, this, like for now, just that stuff. So I went and like I just packed up like an overnight bag just in case we were gonna stay over and then come back after things calmed down. So I had taken my purse because I had a lot of Christmas money I didn't want getting them taken because I did not trust leaving it there especially after what happened. But so I took, but I didn't really have a chance to like take everything out that I wanted because I wasn't sure what was going to happen. Because like I said, everything happened so fast. So we left and we thought we were going to go see our family. So basically the plan was we were going to, I told you guys before, my mother's friend had just moved into a new house, like literally not even a week ago, like not even a week prior to this. Like she was only in her house for 6 days when this was going on. So we basically packed up the whole car full of stuff. My brother was helping my mother get all this stuff out, and he said to my mother, he's like, oh, what's our family gonna think when they see the car full of stuff? And she said, oh, we'll just tell them we're returning a bunch of stuff. Which, if they see a bunch of suitcases in the car, there's gonna be suspicions. They're gonna be like, what's wrong, what's going on? They're gonna think something's is up with that, So my mother was like she was keeping it on the down low. She wasn't telling my family what was going on because she didn't want to worry them. With my grandfather getting older, she did not want them to be upset. She didn't want to worry them, so she didn't tell them what was going on until, all this happened. So, she basically got, we packed up the car. And so our plan was to go to my mother's friend's house, drop off the stuff in her garage, and then go see our family. Well, what we did was we called my aunt. We told her we were going to be late. We told her what was going on. We basically told her, we had a situation at the house. My mother told her the whole story. And my aunt was like very sympathetic, and she was like, "Oh, well, how come you didn't tell us?" And my mother just said she didn't want, them to be worried. And she's like, "Oh, no, you could have told us." Like, she was obviously really like understanding. And she said, "You guys just take your time. If the kids want to eat, I'll heat the food up for them, and then you guys can eat later. We'll just hang out tonight, whatever." So, I actually thought we were going to stay there and then come back there the next day and, just spend less and less nights there. So we packed up our stuff. We went to my mother's friend's house. I don't want to say her name because this video, I don't know. So I don't want to say her name. So anyway, and I'm not one to give. I know some people on YouTube give those fake names, give people fake names, and I don't do that. So yeah. But anyway, so we packed up our stuff. We put it in her friend's garage, and we basically hung out there, and we decided we were just going to stay there rather than just leaving, and because we were online looking for places, and we just decided to stay there. We did not make it to our family. So her friend basically took us in, and my brother actually made some trips back to the house because he was, getting stuff out for us that we needed because he didn't want us going back there. He did not want us going back there after what happened because they have no problem with him. They have no problems at all with him. So he was basically getting things that we needed from the house. It was so funny. We were giving him lists of things. It was really hard. Those few days were really hard. Everything just basically got turned upside down. The week between Christmas and New Year's is supposed to be, a time to relax after all your holiday stuff, but instead we were moving. It was hard. We had plans that week, and every single thing that I had planned I had to cancel, so it was really hard, but obviously all my friends were understanding, but I felt really bad about it. And so we actually found a house 4 days later. We were moved in, we got the keys, we found a beach house. We found a winter rental. We were looking online, and I think it was my mother's friend's idea. So the next day, the day after, we checked it out, and we liked it. We were literally moved in there within 4 days, so that was the 30th, December 30th, we were moved in. It was a small house. It was 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, but my brother wasn't there much because of being away at school, but when he was, my mom and I shared a room, and he slept in her room. But anyway, so it was really hard, and as far as our belongings, because we couldn't take everything because the place was small, so as far as our belongings, we basically just took the stuff we wanted, and the rest of the stuff we took. My mother has a friend who has a huge basement, and they've been friends for almost 40 years, so he's family to us, and we kept our stuff in his basement for 6 months because it was 6 months. So we kept our stuff there for that time, and we have a townhouse where we're living now, but we had a tenant in it, and literally right after all this happened, we signed a lease with her for another year. So we could have been back there, but we signed a lease with her, and she was nice enough to be out by June. She didn't have to be, but she was nice enough to be, and we're really thankful for that because we would have had to live with my grandfather for 6 months, and I was really also worried about where I was going to be living, I didn't know what was going to happen. It was, like I said, it was really stressful. those 6 months were really stressful. I had a very long commute to and from school every day, and it was really stressful. There were literally times where when I was out of the house for go to school, I spent more time on the bus than actually in school. Um, it was just a lot. It was a lot of very stressful. I didn't have all my belongings, and there actually was a time that, like, right before the day we moved into the place, I actually did go back there and get some stuff out that I wanted, because I didn't really get a chance to do that since everything happened so fast. So my brother had to, bring his girlfriend back home, and I had like 45 minutes to get my stuff. And even then, I still felt rushed, but it was just like I said, really, everything just happened so fast, and it was just crazy. But when my mother called her friend and told her what happened, like the day we needed, we left unexpectedly, she basically said, things went worse than you can imagine. And her friend was like, just calm. Like, her door was open. She took us in. Like, she literally wasn't in her new house for a week yet, and she took us in when we needed somewhere to stay. Um, and the thing with my brother wasn't really affected by the change because he wasn't really displaced because he still had a schoolhouse. He was away at college, so he wasn't really displaced, which he was really lucky, I guess, because like he wasn't, displaced. So, yeah. And then my mother called her friend, the one who, she kept our stuff with for like 6 months, and she basically said, I'm out. I need your basement. That was what she said, and like that's basically how everything happened. So we moved back to our townhouse in June of 2015, and we've been back here ever since. And we got our stuff back, and we're all good now. And like I said, I mean, it took me a while to heal, but it kind of just like comes and goes. It's kind of hard. It wasn't even planned. Usually when people move, there's like, there's preparation, there's planning. You look at houses, you plan it all out. It's not like, oh, okay, we're moving, start packing. It's planned. This was not planned. This was spur of the moment. This was spontaneous. I was displaced. And even that 6 months, we didn't have like our own place because we were renting. So it was really, it was hard because, it wasn't like our house. And even where we were living with my stepdad, I mean, I feel like it was our house because, we had a key, but it was just uncomfortable there because, like, even when we were all good, you knew that there was tension in the air. Like, something could just blow up at any time. And my stepdad always sided with the girls, and it was just, he never sided with us. Whenever I told him my mother what the girls were doing and she was sticking up for me by fighting with him, he was basically saying that I was lying and he was sticking up for them. I have no idea why. I mean, he never told them no. I mean, it's like, yeah. So, and then there was a time when they left dog poop on the floor. And my commission counselor to clean it up. And he didn't say to them, oh no, you don't do that ever again. Like, that's just, he basically just was like, oh, he didn't say anything. He didn't say, to them, oh, your girlfriend's not allowed in the house anymore. He didn't discipline. He didn't say anything. He kind of just, he stuck up for them. He was on their side 100%. And I have no idea why, but that's just how he was. So, yeah. But that's pretty much it for this. I don't even know how long this video is. So I'm gonna go, and I know I probably left out a lot of details, but if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask, and I will definitely answer them. And if they require a lot of explanation, I will comment and let you know if it's gonna be a separate video or if I'll just answer you. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I wanted to do this for a long time, but the last time I had some trouble getting it uploaded, and yeah, so I'm gonna try this again. And I just had some technical difficulties with this video, but hopefully this time it works. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in my next video. Be sure to comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. All right. Bye, guys.